best.
Does it help you have so much familiarity with, I mean, you've played with Lloyd quite a bit in the past.
Yeah, for sure. Familiarity is always good with your D partner. Being comfortable with anyone back here.
He's not missed a game since he came into the league. How impressive is that, considering the physical style?
Yeah, it's impressive. Blocks shots, plays physical. That's it's hard to do. So good for him.
Todd's obviously been around for so long, coached so many years. Where do you see that show up from a coach in his first week or so?
Yeah, I think he just knows his program, knows how he likes to run things. You can tell he's done it a long time. Just from the way he conducts himself, the way he lays out our schedule for us, it's you can tell he's done it a long time and knows what he likes.
And I know one of the things they've kind of emphasized early has been the PK. What kind of differences are you seeing in that so far through a couple of games?
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different system than what we were doing before, so everything's different about it. Maybe the up ice is similar, but in zone everything's different.
It's been noticeable too, you guys have spent a lot less time in the D zone. You've been playing more north, getting more shot opportunities, actually outshooting teams right now, rather than getting outshot. What's been the biggest difference for you? How does that energize guys to be playing in the O zone a little more?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more fun, right? You want to play with the puck, you want to, play offense. It's the most fun part. Obviously our D zone is the thing that's led to that, and just getting quicker stops, getting out of our D zone quicker with control, and then obviously the shot volume is a big part of that as well. That we've really been talking about.
I was thinking the same thing that Trevor just said. Did you know that Dylan had scored that kind of more like that?
I mean, yeah, you hear about it. It's not like you're paying any attention to it. And, I think he is either. It's like I said, the way he's playing, the way he's creating, he's always going to score. There's not an issue. And then sometimes it's just nice to see the first one go in.
In those situations, sometimes. It's like even if it wasn't, if it was just, man, it's like you're going for a hat trick or something like that. You had a clear shot. Do you guys think about that sometimes? It's like, all right, should I pass it or should I be a little selfish?
I mean, especially in a game like that, I think you're only thinking about getting the puck in the net, right? Trying to ice the game. So if I had 2 goals, maybe I would have shot it, but. No, it's good. I mean, you want to get guys going and have a good time.
I saw a stat this morning. You had 82 points in 82 games in the calendar year 2024. I think it was the first time that's happened for Red Wings in Datsuk. What does hearing that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously fun, right? I want to be a producing player, and it's the way I'm supposed to play. Points come and go. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. So don't put a lot of thought into that. Just trying to keep playing my game and keep trying to elevate.
You guys play a different game, but the way you play your game, the durability, what does it speak to as far as that goes?
Yeah, obviously it's nice, but I don't know. I just try to maintain a good healthy physique. Just I don't know, take pride in going out there every single day. Just try to work hard, and obviously, hopefully, there are many more to come.
Yeah, along the way, how much of it has been mind over matter as far as your mind telling your body to go when you might be banged up a little?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a really good way to put it. Along the years, you kind of learn how to manage the game properly, take the rest when it's needed, and I think I'm definitely doing a pretty good job of that.
How much pride do you take in being available every single night?
A lot. I mean, obviously you want to be out there. You want to go into the battle with the guys every single night, and just try to do that more nights than others.
We've noticed you guys have spent a lot less time in the D zone over the last few games. What's been the key to that?
We're just trying to get more stops quick. Obviously they'll have their chances, but we just have to keep them to the outside. Make sure we're checking from the inside, and then once we have a stalled puck, we just need to get it quick, get to outnumber, and find a way to get out of the zone.
How much have you noticed that's re-energized guys playing more in the O zone, a lot less time in the D zone, and being outshot, that sort of thing?
Obviously, it's a lot more fun. I think all the forwards want to play with the puck. We don't want to be in the D zone And yeah, obviously that's one of the key things I think Todd implemented early on, and as of late we've been doing a pretty good job of that.
You know, what's the closest you ever came to missing a game? Was it that time I think you were sick, really sick one time or something? What's the closest?
I don't know. Don't want to go into detail, to be honest. I think it's just a matter of fact of being available or not, and obviously some guys aren't that blessed with injuries like me, and hopefully just can maintain that and just be available every single night.
Really? What's kind of your approach with that? Is there a lot of that consciousness to try to absorb it what you want to?
Obviously, you want to try to block it with the front part of your body. I mean, that's where we're protected. And in the end, though, you just have to go out there and get the block. Doesn't matter how. So if it hits you in a bad spot, it hits you in a bad spot. But obviously, the 2 points are more important than that. Thank you.
You talked the other day about wanting to see how the team kind of reacts. What are you hoping to see, and what are the challenges coming in here off a couple wins and now going on the road?
Well, just like it was when we arrived in Detroit, we had to figure everything out at home, and now we're going to do that on the road. I don't know how the team will get out of the gate. I'm not sure what their preparation routine has been. I don't know how they react to a full skate or an optional skate. I'm not sure what their practice habits will be like on the road. Everything's different on the road. And we're going to find that out on this trip, and two real good teams to take the test. Obviously, Columbus playing really well here at home, and Winnipeg being Winnipeg. I don't think we can get a stiffer trip right off the bat to figure the group out. And when we get back on late Saturday night, Sunday morning, we'll have a road map again now. A roadmap built for road hockey and how we behave and how we prepare and all that type of stuff. So it's I don't want to say experimental for the coaching staff, because we're in the middle of a season and we're trying to push for wins. But in some sense, it has an element of that.
What made you decide with the defense pairings that you liked Ben with Moritz? You split up Simon and
Yeah,
Moritz.
we were. I think we were about halfway through that Toronto game when it happened, and we tried to keep things as common as much as we could with new people coming in. As that game wore on, obviously at 4 and 5, things were going real well, so we started to flip some things around. Jans and I had talked about balancing out the D a little bit more, taking some pressure off the two kids who played real well together, and also sending a message to both Petrie and Chiarot that we expect a lot from them. We value them. We're not suppressing them. So we got it from there, and the third pair has actually been quite steady for us. So we're happy with the combinations. We have Albert sitting in the wings. He's going to get an opportunity at some point, and we'll see where it all takes us.
How much do you go back and look at video? Because Ben and Moritz have played quite a bit in the past together. Do you go back and look at stuff like that, or is it all clean slate with?
It's normally you do go back, but we would like to have a clean slate and formulate our own opinions. We're obviously changing some things, so the players are going to have some different reads, different cues, a different sense of timing. So going back for us is basically 9 periods now. It's not necessarily 3 months ago or anything like that. And we'll see where it takes us.
Hey, Todd, what are your thoughts on Edmondson? I mean, it's a kid that the organization's been very high on for a couple of years now. What are the initial impressions, or what did you think from the outside or whatnot?
Well, you said two things in the question. You said kid and high on, and I think they're both applicable to each other. We are high on him. You can see the raw talent that's there, the legs, the length, the skating ability. He's a competitive young man, but he is just that, a young man. And he's got a lot to learn. He's got some strength to gain. He's got some experience to gain. He's got to understand the ups and downs of the game, and he's going to get a chance to go through that. But he is just a kid. And there's not a lot of 20-year-old defensemen that get popped right into a top pair and play 27 minutes a night. They're few and far between. He showed he was capable of it, but he also has to learn how to play the right way and be taught and held accountable and rewarded. and all those things that young players, whether it's forward or D-man, experience. We have to get Simon through all of that.
Is that partly, I mean, learning, like penalties, he's taking some penalties at crucial moments.
Yeah, those are moments. You know, when you're 6'6" and your stick is 7 feet long, there's so much benefit to all of that. But it's also, you know, I think of the penalty the other night, there's also a reckless element to that where as strength comes and timing and a sense of you know, being solid, the stick control's a little bit better. You keep your legs moving. All of that's part of growing up, and you can't rush Mother Nature. She dictates how quick you evolve. We can help him with a lot of hockey stuff, but she's going to be in charge of some of his development too.
You talked about the third pair, and Justin Holl's a guy who obviously had quite the track record in Toronto, but opportunity a little harder to come by so far here. What have your early impressions of him been, and what has he brought to that third pair?
Well, I think that each player, not just Justin, has to know their own game, and they have to play within that game. They have to find a way to be productive with the skill sets, the tools that they have within our system once it really gets established. I think Justin's done a pretty good job of that so far. He should really understand who he is and what makes it work for him. And if he sticks to that type of game, he's going to be pretty effective some nights. If he gets away from it and starts to wander and try and extend his game a little bit, then it probably gets more difficult for him. But that's not just Justin, that's anybody.
And your eyes, the things that have made him who he is, it's the length and the defending.
Length and defending, and you know, there's some physicality to his game. I don't want to take anything away from him, but I don't see him being a rusher and all that type of stuff, and that's okay. That's not what he was signed for, likely. But he's got to do what he does best, and then go from there.
I want to pick up on something I asked you about the other night, and that was the time spent in the D zone and how you've changed that a bit. Got guys going more north, and this team was heavily outshot, getting outworked in the D zone and exhausting the offensive guys and really not giving them a chance on the other end. How important was it for you to open these guys up, and what's the key to that?
Well, quite frankly, we haven't spent a lot of time in D-zone coverage, and it needs some work. It certainly does, and that's coming when we get more time. We focused on a few other things, and some of them may be up ice, where if we do those things effectively, we spend a few less minutes in the D-zone, or at least we're hoping we do. Some things through the neutral zone that are really important that will alleviate time in our zone. But the simple fact of D-zone coverage and certain reads, we have to get to still. And what that tells me is if we are spending less time there, that we've been a little more effective with some of the things up ice and through the neutral zone that we need.
And balancing up the shot volume, how important is that for your defense and your goaltending as far as that goes?
Yeah, it's, let's face it, the teams shoot 8-9%. It's just a given. At the end of the year, you give up 50 shots a night, you're giving up too many goals. So regardless of where the shots are taken from, the perimeter or in tight, that type of volume is going to end up in your net eventually. And we can look at that from an offensive perspective and try and take those numbers up a little bit, and I think we're getting that mindset into the players a little bit. But also from a defensive perspective, we've got to limit that.
Tonight, Seider is going to claim his 284th straight game to start his career and going to tie Nick Lidstrom. Just the kind of durability he's shown with the type of game that he plays. How impressive is that?
Well, you used Nick Lidstrom's name. I'm familiar with him, obviously, and hopefully 20-some years from now, we're talking about Mo in the same breath as Nick as we are doing now. But the simple fact that he can be that durable at a young age and play as hard as he does speaks volumes, and that was Nick Lidstrom, certainly from a durability standpoint.
What's impressed you about Columbus?
They are playing very well at home. I think Dean has his fingerprints all over this team, and anytime a coach comes in and he can flip the identity and get the players believing into what he's selling, it becomes contagious. I see that throughout their lineup, their home ice record, the amount of offense that they're getting from their back end is big, but also the confidence that some of the offensive players have up front. So they in my mind, they've definitely turned the corner, and they're going to get not only the Red Wings but every other team in the league a handful.
Your name came up here obviously this past summer. That was very public. Did you ever get to a point where you looked at the roster here and thought like, well, you know, they're kind of close?
Yeah, you know, with all of that happened in the summer and needing to hire, it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But the opportunity that existed here was really exciting for whoever would take the job. Donnie is an outstanding general manager. He's proven that over many, many different years. The players that were already on the team and the players that were coming were certainly exciting. Hopefully our group in Detroit's much like that, where they're going to open their eyes up and want to learn. And again, Dean was the right guy for this job at this time, and they made a tremendous decision in that.
For yourself, where you end up here, I mean, I know it's been a number of years since the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup. You were here when that happened. Does that ever go away? Like, you know, as far as how special were the Red Wings? I guess is what I'm getting at. You know, throughout your coaching career.
Well, this isn't going to be I hope it's not going to be a degrading comment for younger players or coaches that come into the league. But I always say you come into the league in diapers, and you grow up in that family. That family means a lot to you. And I got into the league in diapers. And your first set of diapers is the one that you really latch onto. Players are very loyal to their first team. Once they get to teams 2 or 3, then now they're willing to move around and move their families, but they're very loyal to their first teams. Coaches are like that too. I said to Trent Yanni, I think it was after the game against Pittsburgh, the last time the Red Wings played the Pittsburgh Penguins and I was involved was in Pittsburgh in 2008. And then we won in Game 6. I got to the airport yesterday, and we go to generally the same hangar. I think we were one shy of where it was, but when we landed, I said to Jans, when we came back from Pittsburgh, we landed and we had our Stanley Cup party in that building. Like, that's how memories work. So it's really unique. But the group in there, they don't care about that one bit. So I'm just sharing with Trent, and you guys asked the question. I don't tell anybody in there those stories because they only want to know what we can do for them now, and that's why we're here.
Yeah. It was special for you to be back.
It means a lot. It really does. And the people in Detroit for sure.
Who are you starting in goal?
We're going to start Talbs tonight.
And no other lineup changes then?
Not at this point, no.
Well, here's a big question. After 25 years in the league, are you used to the cannon now, or?
So I'm not used to it. I don't want to hear the damn thing. But the way this team's playing, you may hear it too many times. But Larry Robinson, when I was in San Jose, an outstanding human being, and he's on the bench, and for all the beatings he handed out, and the beatings he took, and the games he played, the one thing that was going to kill him was the cannon here, because he'd be on the bench and he'd just start swearing and heart attack and that type of stuff. So
you don't expect.
No, well, you're usually, if you're the visitors, you're not very happy when it's going off and you're looking and you're surprised by it. So, okay.